Good morning. Councilmember Rice and I are here today to give a proclamation for the Blue Ribbon School Program. And of course, it really is a prestigious award. Many people don't realize how prestigious it truly is, candidly. So we did a little research on it. And first of all, let me congratulate everybody. This was like a school project for us. The National Blue Ribbon School Program began in 1982 and was created by then Secretary of Education Terrell H. Bell. Secretary Bell created this awards program to bring attention to the best schools in the United States. The blue ribbon is a symbol of high quality. It comes from the Blue Riband, a prize awarded for the fastest crossing of the Atlantic Ocean by a passenger liner, and prior to that from Cordon Bleu, which referred to the blue ribbon worn by a particular order of knights. The National Blue Ribbon Schools Program recognizes public and private schools, elementary, middle, and high school, based on their overall academic excellence or their progress in achieving gaps among student subgroups. More than 800 schools from across the country have been presented with this prestigious recognition. The National Blue Ribbon School flag is a widely recognized symbol of exemplary teaching and learning.
So now that you've heard the history about the Blue Ribbon School Program, what does it mean? It means that we have shining examples of not only schools who do what they need to make sure that all of our children are successful, but schools that can go above and beyond and showcase that they truly are worldwide competitive. And that's where we want all of our schools to be. That's really what we want to highlight. And by us showcasing these schools that are doing it, with some of the challenges that they have that are similar to other schools throughout Montgomery County and throughout the state, says what we can emulate for all of our schools. You know, it's interesting because with both Principal Moses and with Principal Bliss, they each have either high mobility rates, high ESOL or FARMS rates in their schools, but don't let that deter them. In fact, it's a point of excellence for them. When we look at some of the programs that Ronald McNair does that I wanted to highlight in terms of celebrating diversity and celebrating the individual self and the value of that, and understanding that you bring something to your community because you are different, because you are unique. It's not a negative. It's actually an enhancement, and it's something that we here in Montgomery County hold of value. Being creative about working with our partners in the community, whether it's networking with folks at NIH, or whether it's working with folks at universities at Shady Grove to help create mentorship programs, to show opportunities to all of our children about what the future may hold for them and the various opportunities that are out there. And then encompassing different kinds of models that we know work as well, basing something on a Montessori model that I know all too well, where our older students help to mentor younger students. All of those kinds of things come into play to showcase these are some of our best and brightest. The reality is that we want this for every single one of our kids, for every single one of our schools. And so we want to try and mirror the great successes that each of you as leaders have demonstrated and worked with your staff members to make happen for every single one of our schools in Montgomery County. And so it's not just important about your own success, but it's about also what it means for the rest of our school system and our school system statewide. And so we really want to take off our hat and say, job well done to all of you, but there's so much more to come. So I think we'll go ahead and read the proclamation. Sydney, do you want to start off?
I can do that. We have dueling proclamations here. This is a proclamation. Whereas the National Blue Ribbon School of Excellence Award celebrates the success that occurs when teachers, staff, students, parents, and the community work together to make a firm commitment to education, and
whereas National Blue Ribbon Schools represent educational excellence and their teachers, administrators, and staff reflect the belief that every child in America deserves a world-class education.
And whereas Farmland Elementary School in Rockville is one of the 13 public schools in Maryland and 342 schools nationwide that were recognized as National Blue Ribbon Schools this year, and
whereas both Ronald McNair and Farmland were honored as exemplary high-performing schools for their outstanding academic achievement, leadership, professional development, and instructional programs, and whereas
Principal Mary Bliss and Sherry Moses, the teachers, staff, and the entire school community of Farmland Elementary School and Ronald McNair are to be commended for this outstanding achievement.
So now, therefore, be it resolved, and this was kind of hard to do, guys, in terms of coordination, so we've done a great job. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the County Council of Montgomery County, Maryland hereby recognizes and salutes both Farmland Elementary School and Ronald McNair Elementary School, National Blue Ribbon Schools of Excellence, and be it further resolved that the County Council joins the students, teachers, parents, and community of both schools in celebrating their outstanding accomplishments that benefit all residents of Montgomery County. And it's presented this 30th day of January in the year 2018, signed by our Council President, Hans Reamer. Congratulations. So I'm just going to let you know that Principal Bliss, unfortunately, has started to lose her voice, so we're going to have a stand-in for her. I'm going to turn to Principal Moses first, and then we'll have a stand-in for Principal Bliss.
Good morning. First of all, thank you very much to the council and the board for this proclamation. As it was stated, this is not just a leadership honor. This is our school community. It is our teachers, our students. It's a collective effort. I just humbly stand in front of you to accept this award on their behalf. Thank you very much, and we look forward to continuing to soar into success.
Please.
Good morning. My name is Dr. Sarah Surgo. I'm actually the director that supervises all the elementary schools in the Walter Johnson cluster. And because Mary Bliss, the principal of Farmland, has laryngitis, she's asked me to say a few words on her behalf. To her credit, tells you a little bit about Mary as a leader. She doesn't have a voice, and she's still working and showing up. I haven't quite figured out how she's doing that, but I can tell you that her commitment to the school is exemplified in this award. I have a personal connection with the school because when I started in the school system almost 20 years ago, Farmland was the school that I began at. And so it's certainly a tremendous honor for me to have the opportunity to come back now as a supervisor and work with Mary. Mary was also my very first assistant principal in my principalship. So my connection to the work of Farmland is deep. And I am really humbled to be given the opportunity to address this group, and certainly want to express what Mary, I know, would say if she could, which is that she accepts this award on behalf of her staff, her community, and of course, most importantly, her students. Farmland is an incredibly diverse school. Students come from many different countries, often here for long periods of time, but more often for short periods of time as their families work at the World Bank, NIH, and other places in our county. And even with that mobility and many children learning English as a second language, they embrace and include every family and student in that school and set high standards for their work. And this reward and this award is a recognition of that great work. And so on behalf of myself, my colleague Greg Edmondson, who supervises McNair, and our associate superintendent, Dr. Laverne Kimball, who's responsible for all of the elementary schools in our school system, we really appreciate the recognition and the opportunity to share with you a little bit about the work that our schools are doing today. Thank you.
All right, so we're about to take the picture, but I did just want to make sure that we acknowledge. So you heard we have Dr. Kimball here, who's our Associate Superintendent of Elementary Schools. We have Mr. Greg Edmondson, who's our Director of Elementary Schools. You heard from Dr. Sarah Surgo, who's our Director of School Support and Instruction. Judy Wilson, Staff Development Teacher. No, not here. Mrs. Mann.
Yes.
Yes, all right, Mrs. Mann. And excellent. So we have PTA here as well. So again, parents play a key role. So thank you very much. You saw from our principals, and then on the side from Ronald McNair, we have Mrs. Christina Montgomery, who's our PTA president, and Amanda, our assistant principal of Ronald McNair. So excellent. So we have, again, it's a collaboration, a partnership, and all the folks throughout our school system continuing to work each and every day to deliver these same kind of results for every single one of our kids, something that we should be incredibly proud of and highlight for as an example for all of our schools to try and attain this level. So thank you guys all for being here, and thank you for your great work.